Hello, it's Monica Dubé with Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life Transformation Program. I'm here to do Lesson 61 of A Course in Miracles, and I'm really surprised because I wasn't going to do any more videos, and here I am doing them. And it's okay with me because what I'm finding is that this Lesson 61 is probably the most, amazing lesson, as they all are. But as I was reading it today, I realized that if we don't really grasp this lesson and take it on as the truth of who we are, then we really stay in this self-sabotaging, limited kind of state, which doesn't really bring us any happiness or joy. So I'm going to start with just giving this real quickly. Turn that off. All right, so who's the light of the world except God's Son, right? Or who you are, because you are created by a loving Creator. So if you're not the light of the world, who is, right? So then this is merely a statement of the truth about yourself. It's the opposite of pride, arrogance, or self-deception, because pride and arrogance is of the ego. All right? If you're prideful, it's because you don't know who you are and you're making something up and you think you're better than others. And that's where the ego comes in. And it's also self-deception because it isn't true. You can't be something other than what God created because God created you perfect and whole. And when we deny it, we suffer, right? When we deny it, we're always in this state of not knowing who we are. And then that creates a myriad of forms of ways that we sabotage ourselves and ways that we don't step fully into our power. So I do this whole class on self-sabotaging beliefs, which comes into my awareness as I start to teach this lesson. Because there's so many beliefs that we hold on to, like I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I'm getting in my own way. And also ideas like I'm afraid to step into my power. Okay, I'm afraid to be the light of the world because who would I be if I was the light of the world? If I were that, then I would be something other than what I made. And that's why we sabotage, because we're so afraid of being that light that we think if we just play small, or if we just eke out a little bit of a living or a way to be in the world that's just doesn't rock the boat, but just fits into a place that we're not really that comfortable, because we don't get to utilize our gifts. We don't get to step into the light of our truth of who we are and really embrace our spiritual gifts that we've been given. So that's all I do in my coaching program, is I teach people how to find that light within them and find out what it is that's stopping them from what is stopping you from really embracing the light that you are. Okay, you have ideas in your mind, absolutely, that you've been conditioned to believe, but that's not you. That's still your conditioned ego mind. That has nothing to do with you. So when we listen to it, we struggle and we suffer, and that's not what we want to do anymore, right? So I'm a creator, and I know you are too. And I get really silly because, not silly, but like I'm innocent in this. I know that it's true that I can be the light of the world if I choose to be. Just like the Course says, who is a teacher of God? Anyone who chooses to be one. Anyone who decides, okay, I'm no different than anyone else. My needs aren't any different than anyone else. My pain isn't different than anyone else's. And so I choose to be a teacher of God because I want the solution. I want to be the light of the world. I want to be who I really am, because not to be is ridiculous. And not only that, but it hurts. It brings us nothing but dissatisfaction and pain and suffering. So I've been looking at this because I have a lot of clients too that come to me with all of this, a lot of stuck energy, a lot of chronic fatigue, and a lot of ideas that have kept them bound to an idea that they don't trust life. And that's crazy too. I mean, how can you not trust life? Life is what the universe is made of. Of course you trust life. You just don't believe that you do. And it's just a thought anyway. It can be released in like 4 minutes, honestly. So that's what I do in my practice, and I love it because it works. It does not describe the self-concept you have made, right? So I'm the light of the world. It has nothing to do with your own self-concept of yourself, because that's all made of false beliefs. It does not refer to any of the characteristics with which you have endowed your idols. What are your idols? Your idols are, your suffering, your lack, your idea that you can't be bold and step into the world in a way that's going to help a lot of people, or, even just help yourself. Because what you need to do is to really see that If I'm throwing you a lifeline, you got to grab that lifeline for yourself and put it over your body so you can pull you out of this place where you're drowning. Like, I don't want to do that with you anymore. I want you to know there's a way out, and I'm here to help you. So it simply states the truth. You were created by God as the light of the world. That's a fact. The light of the world meaning you're the light in a world of suffering. The light that you bring saves everything in the world that you exist in, because you're making up the world as you go anyway. Your perception of what you see is still going on in you. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And that's hard to understand at first, because you really believe that there's an objective world and everything is just the way it is, and you've got lots of ideas about how it should be and how it isn't, and those are it's all still beliefs, right? It comes down to what you believe about yourself. And if you believe you're the light of the world, you can be the light of the world. If you don't believe you're the light of the world, then you won't be the light of the world. But it doesn't mean you're right. It means you're wrong. You're just completely deluded. You don't get it. You don't know who you are. So let's do something different. Let's step out of this paradigm of insanity, really, and come into the love and the light of who you are, because that's what everyone is needing, right? That's why you came. You came here to bring yourself here and share an experience of this alternative to the suffering of the world, right? You came in to bring light. I know you did, or you wouldn't be listening to me. All right? So I only attract people who get this, who want this message to be true for them. And you'll think I'm crazy otherwise, so that's okay. To the ego, today's idea is the epitome of self-glorification. Now you think, oh, I'm the light of the world. Like, that's a big deal, right? But it's not. It's everyone's the light of the world, if you say you are, if you accept it. But the ego does not understand humility, mistaking it for self-debasement. Humility actually consists of accepting your role in salvation and in taking no other. That's really critical, because if you accept the role that you've been given, but you don't take any other, you don't replace it with something you made up, if God has a plan for you and you've got to do it, you don't say, yeah, but I'll do it next week or next year or 10 years from now. I'll do it when I retire. No, it's too late. You got to do it now, because the light and the love that you can't wait to express is dying to get through you. It's really urgent. I always feel this sense of urgency when I get up, when I'm about to make a video or I'm about to coach someone. It's like, I got to do this. I got to do it now. Because there is no such thing as time. So there is only really now. When I have a conversation with somebody and it ignites something in them, it's like, yes, now is the time where you heard this. Why? Because it is. It just is. It's not sequential. We're not sequencing time here. We're being totally present in this new consciousness where we get to be creators and we get to live our life in a state of grace and in a state of perfection. Meaning love, true love underneath everything is coming through us as we speak and exist in this revelatory experience where I don't even know what I'm going to say next, and it just comes out of my mouth. That's awesome, because I don't have to care. I don't have to care about the outcome. I don't have to care about how you receive this or don't receive it, because I know in the light of the world I don't have any other function here. I really don't. And I get it, because I worked at this a long time to get it, and I now see it wasn't really work. It was just acceptance, shedding all the beliefs that got in my way. That's all I've been doing for like 25 years, 28 years. So, all right, so you're going to want to think about this idea as often as possible today. Why? Because true humility means that to insist that you cannot be the light of the world, if that's the function God gave you, that's arrogance. Who are you? You're not God, right? God gave you this function. So you have to either deny it or fulfill it. It's up to you. It's only arrogance that would assert this function cannot be for you, and arrogance is always of the ego. So it's not really important to think of reasons why you can't do it, right? That's what we do. We sabotage ourselves. Oh no, I need more training. Or I don't have enough support, or I don't have what I need, or I'm too young, or I'm too old. All those sabotaging beliefs. I do a whole class on this because I know those beliefs come up, And it's because people in our lives have told us this crazy stuff, even when we were little, really little. Oh, you can't do that. Stay in your chair. Behave. don't be too wild, and don't be too creative, and don't have so much fun. And really, to this day, I have fun on the weekends, and I'm like, is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to be yourself and be the innocent light that you are. I give you permission to have total fun with your life from this moment on, okay? And be in the innocence and the light that you are. Here's the end of this, and it's just, all you have to do to practice this is to state this over and over to yourself. I'm the light of the world. That's my only function. That's why I'm here. I'm the light of the world. That's my only function. That's why I'm here. Okay? So then if you want to think about this for a couple minutes, you can do that. Let a few related thoughts come to you. Repeat the idea to yourself if your mind wanders away from the central thought. Okay, so we're training our mind to stay on a central thought. I'm the light of the world. That's my only function. That's why I'm here. Okay, good luck, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I think we're going to keep going, because Lesson 61 shows us that we're the light of the world, and then what's our function? Forgiveness. Forgiveness is our function as the light of the world. Forgiving yourself. What I think of as forgiveness is often just letting go of my belief that I could be anything other than what God created. I forgive myself for believing that. It's not true. It'll never be true. Thank God. God created me, and I didn't create myself. He didn't create you either. All right, so we are on this Lesson 61. We'll do Lesson 62 tomorrow. I hope you love the lessons. If you do, comment. Say, loving these lessons. Thanks for the help, or whatever you want to do. It's nice to see the comments, and share if you would, because then this goes out into the world, and it's just what I want to do, is to wake people up to the truth of who they are. What else am I doing here? What else are you doing here? We're here to be free. And however we do that, and however we bring people into that light of true freedom, of true understanding that we don't have to suffer anymore, we don't have to listen to other people's ideas. We really are here to claim who we really are, the light of the world. HealYourMindHealYourLife.com. I hope to talk to you soon personally. I'd love to. I do free discovery calls. If you have any idea that you might want to work with me privately, just fill out the contact form on HealYourMindHealYourLife.com. That's my website. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.